morning, Mr. Nitin Desai. Thank you for joining us today. It's a great pleasure to have you with us on Cuts Adda. So while the economies are still reviving from the wake of the global economic downturn, how important do you think is human capital formation for such recovery?
Well, I think in many ways, human capital formation is always important, regardless of whether you had a crisis or not. Because in many ways, that's what development is about. It's about people in both senses. People as the people who will get the benefit of development, and people as people who will contribute more and more to development. So whatever you look at in history, the role of human capital in development is absolutely central. Now, right now, because of the pandemic and so on, in a way, we have to create particular importance because the people who are most affected by this were the people whose main source of livelihood was their labor, whether it is construction labor, where the source of livelihood is entirely nothing but the physical labor, or it may be small enterprises where the shopkeeper works from 9 in the morning to 9 at night, who has been badly affected by this, or small factories. So in many ways, the focusing on human capital, employment, etc., is, I think, absolutely vital right now in the context of the emergency. But if I can take a broader view, that if I take a long-term view of development, then in many ways we need to think a little bit more for what we need to do in order to make the human capital more than just a sum of the number of people we have, so that each person is more productive than and more able to contribute to growth and development than before. So in that sense, there's a broader, longer term agenda also.
As you know that we are also covering this in our recent study of Grow Jobs too, where we're particularly looking into human capital formation and the importance of it. Now, that being said, a lot of people do not understand what is human capital formation and how important it is. So what do you think is the human capital formation? What do you mean by human capital formation, so to speak? And what is standing in the way of this human capital formation?
I would say what we mean by human capital formation is the extent to which the people in any region, in any country, have the skills which are required for the way the economy is developing. For instance, you have an economy which becomes heavily dependent on information technology, use of computers, etc. Then in many ways, what you want are people who are adept at using these technologies. I won't worry too much about this because I've been amazed, for instance, at how Indians have adjusted to the use of smartphones. India has the second largest number of internet users in the country, in the world, despite the fact it still has high rates of illiteracy. And in many ways, so one should not overdo this business of are people good enough for the new economy or not. But what is missing in many of our situations is that we do not have the provisions and mechanisms, institutions, which will provide them with access to knowledge and skills. And it starts right at the primary school level. When you look at the data on primary school levels, are amazing. And there are other dimensions to human capital. We really have a problem. I would say if I had a good enough system, we tried various things, midday meals program in schools and things like that, an integrated child development services program, which has been going on for 5 decades. And why is it that today the National Family Health Survey shows such a high level of undernutrition among children? In fact, it has been increasing over the past 5 years or so. So I would say that's the greatest single problem. My guess is that it is very much a product of the fact of the degree of neglect our young kids have because of our failure to address issues of nutrition, primary education, pre-primary education, and so on. So that is what is the great barrier today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tanya.